Okay, it's now 8 o'clock, so I would like to officially welcome everyone to the first webinar of 2020. Kelly, thank you for being willing to present our webinar this evening. I'm excited that you are going to be doing the first one of the year. So go ahead and take it away. Again, anyone that's in the webinar, if you have any questions during the webinar, please feel free to send them to me, John Reed, on the menu, and I will relay those questions to Kelly. Kelly, thank you so much. Take it away.
Hello, everyone, and Happy New Year. I am very excited to get to present to you this evening the tags activity in Snowflake. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I am going to share my screen with you, and I am going to start off by showing you some tags activities or lesson activities, so you can see what it is that I'm talking about for those of you that are not familiar with them. This is actually one of my very, very favorite activities to create for kiddos. I think it provides a ton of opportunity as far as what you can assess and, things that the kids can practice with. So I'm actually going to I'm on my lessons list here, and I'm going to pull up an example. So this is an addition with dominoes tags activity. And what's neat about the tags activity is you put any image that you want in this section here, and then the students have to drag, and you can actually drag the correct answer over into the tags. So here we have, right, 6 plus 2 gives us 8. When they get it correct, they hear a positive noise, and then we have the green color. When they get it wrong, and this is one thing that some people say, well, this says 5 right here, and this says 5. But actually, we're looking at information right here in the space. So this would be 1 plus 2 equals 3, so the students would have to find that domino. And what's nice is the students can scroll through here. This is another activity type that can be graded. So what's nice about this is you can send this to the student. It will not show them if their answer is right or wrong. They just click submit, and then it grades it, and you can look it up and see exactly which answers the students got incorrect. And over here to the top left, this I is going to give you information about the lesson. And this link right here, there's an extra activity that's included with this one. It should come up here in Google Drive. And then this is something that you can print out for your students, or you can even pull it up on your interactive panel, your Clear Touch board, and then the students can annotate over that. So it's just a nice supplement activity. Send it as homework, guided practice, reinforcement for your kiddos. So that's a younger activity. And there's one also that is one of my favorites. This one here has a video with it, a YouTube video. This is Characteristics of a Poem by Odile. And if we click play, you're going to see that this is going to start with a video prior to the lesson activity. And one of the great things about Snowflake is that you can add a YouTube video to any of these activities for your students. So we're not going to go through the whole video, but you can see there that that would play for your students. And you could either play that, on your panel, or the students can play it on their Chromebooks with headphones. And it gives them an introduction to the topic or information about the topic, and then they can proceed with the activity afterwards. And I will show you in just a little bit how you can cut out pieces of YouTube videos. So if you have a YouTube video that you find that's like 12 minutes long, but you don't want your students to watch that much, you can actually set when the time when the video starts and when the video stops, which is fantastic. So here we have characteristic of poems, same type of thing. We can see right here, red X, we get it incorrect. And again, this is an image that is placed into the activity. Very quick and very easy to make. And I'm actually searching in my playlist. You can see here, there's one on volcanoes. They're really great for diagrams as well. So if you want students to label parts of a diagram, Here's one we have on frog anatomy, which is pretty cool. So you can see we have some on phases of the moon. You could go on and on. That's why it's one of my favorites. You can click show answers as well. And this can even be used, and I just saw it here, non-fiction text features. That was a neat one. There we go. So this is one picture that contains several images. And I use this a lot teaching 3rd and 4th grade. Here they have to look at the different types of text features and then match them up here. So again, this is great for summative assessment, formative assessment. You can even have your students create different tag lesson activities and then share them with you and then share them with other students. What's nice as well too is you can differentiate, so you do not have to send the same lesson to each student. So I might want to send this one to 4 or 5 students, and then I might want to send another 2 to 2 other students, and it doesn't even have to be the same type of activity. So now I'm going to show you guys how to create a tags activity. Oh, this is a really neat one too. I could probably show you for longer than we have, but Analyzing Poetry by Langston Hughes, that's a really neat one as well. So if we go to create lesson activity, it's going to pull up the 16 different types of templates here. And in the 16 different types, we are going to go down here. We're going to choose tags. You're going to want to give your lesson activity a name up at the top. This section right here is where you would include all of your lesson activity information. So where I had the link into the extra supplemental worksheet and information and ideas of what to do with the lesson, you would type that in here. You can add screenshots, and those screenshots are going to show up in the community or in your lesson list if you decide not to share with the community. You can have your URL to your YouTube video here. You can also search for the YouTube video directly from this button, so you don't have to go outside of Snowflake. And when I was telling you about the start and the end points, you can do that right here. So you can set what time in the video that you want it to start playing and what time that you want that video to end. So instead of watching the full 12 minutes, you might just want them to watch 2 minutes and 51 seconds. So when you want the video to start and when you want it to end. If you want it to the video to show before the start of the lesson activity, you would turn this green. And then here you can put the age group, the subject, and the country. And you can also add links. This is where I added the Google Drive link for the activity as well. Keywords here are just how others will find the lesson. You would separate those with commas, and you can also add standards. And all of the lessons that we create, we include the standards because you can also do a standard search. So when I go under Manage Content here, we can start creating our content for our lesson activity. Here we can add a background, and this is a background for the entire page. So it's this area here around this world picture. So we can browse for that, okay, on our computer, right? We can find an image, we can do an image search. We can go to Google Drive and pull an image off of Google Drive, OneDrive, or we can also go to the content gallery, which has all kinds of really cool already created backgrounds and a lot of great resources for you. So for instance, let's give it this blue background here so you can see how quick and simple that was. There's also an option here for a timer, and in the with the timer you can set a time limit for the activity. So this, if you set it for 30 seconds, the activity stops after 30 seconds. This is really fun to play if you want to split the screen into 2 zones and have students compete, see which one, you know, kind of like an old-fashioned board race. They get a kick out of that. So when we go to create content here for a tags lesson, everything that we put in here, that's going to be the information that's on the right-hand side that had the numbers.
Kelly?
Yes.
Is it possible to link videos that are not online?
You know, that is a very good question. I don't know if I know the answer to that question. I don't think that you can link them. If you have them in Google Drive, you can link them, and if you have the sharing permissions set, they will work. But I don't think that it will play at the beginning of the lesson.
If there are some of the lessons that have an ability to upload an MP4, so if you have your video in an MP4 and it's uploadable, then you'd be able to upload it. It's not on all, and there's some different functionality between Snow.Live and Snowflake, so you would need to look at when you're building a lesson to see which ones would let you upload an MP4. Then
that would be good too, if that would actually be great possibilities for students too, if they create videos in the class.
Exactly. So there are some that allow an uploading of an MP4. If you have it saved in that format, then it would be able to be done. You just need to look and see which lesson activity you're in and which platform, and then it would be able to be done on some, but not all. So hopefully that answers the question, Angela.
And I'm just going to clarify, because I know Jack said Snowflake, and then he said Snow.Live. So they're two different platforms. Right now we're in Snow.Live, and this is the web-based version. And you can create, the lessons from home here, pretty much basically anywhere where you have internet access, you can create the lessons. And then Snowflake is the app that's on your panel, but you can also use Snow.Live on your panel too. They're very similar, but there are a few differences. So that's what he's referring to when he says Snow.Live versus Snowflake. So we put our information in here. We have, let's say, 1 + 1, 2, 4 + 4, 5 + 5. And when we go to customize content here, this is where we would put in our picture. So we can browse a new image. So you do your folder, you can do an image search. Okay, we can do an online image search. I would not recommend doing this in front of your kids, because even though a lot of schools have everything, we have it protected, you never know exactly what's going to come up or what's going to appear. So whatever image you pick will show up here, okay? This actually doesn't relate really to my content, but you can see exactly how the image shows up. You can preview it over here to the right. You can change the font, use your font choices as well. And for a fit, for the choose a fit, I usually always pick fit, and the reason is because sometimes it looks different if you don't pick fit on the screen that you're on. So if you're on a phone, or if you're on a tablet, or if you're on your panel, depending on the size, it will look different unless you choose fit. So I usually always choose fit. And again, here's your time and your gameplay. So I'm going to go back to here. I'm going to do something a little bit easier that I can pull up real quick. We go to custom content. Let's pull up a world map. I'm just going to look and see. Oh, this one might work here. I'm looking for one with no names. All right, here we go. So now we have just 4 continents here, right? We have our background. And now what we have to do is match these tags with the right areas. And that's how the software knows whether the answer is correct or incorrect. You can also choose the tag colors. So the tags are the little points that you drag the numbers into. Here, if I made the tags blue, it would probably be very difficult to see. So I'm going to do more of a contrasting color here of red. And I'm going to click place tags. So when I click Africa, you see down here, it's a red tag. So I'm actually going to put this tag on Africa, North America, South America, and Australia. Okay? So as I do that, you can see over here to the right-hand side, and the answers are set. If I have my lesson activity information, everyth's ready to go. You see some of these tags here are white and one is red. So when I did that, I should have clicked all, and now they're all red. Okay? So we can click play, and now we have our activity. So we can drag these, and you see that that is incorrect. And here you see that it's correct. And it knows that because we placed the tags into the right spot. And again, if you send this to your kids as a gradable assessment, they're not going to see any of this information. They're not going to get feedback. You will get feedback after they submit as to which ones they got right or which ones were incorrect.
Kelly?
Yes.
We have a question from Allison that said, can you use a phone or a tablet to create lessons? Is Snow.Live optimized for those types of devices?
Absolutely, yes. You can use a phone, you can use a tablet, laptop, computer, panel. Yes, you can. So if you just have your phone on you and you're sitting in the airport, you want to go to Snow.Live and sign in, absolutely, you can create a lesson. And what's great about it is no matter where you're at or what device you're on, the lesson will sync with your account. And so when you get back to school to teach the lesson, it will actually be in your lesson lists. It will be under My Lesson Activities right here, so you can go straight to it. So that's a really neat feature. You don't have to save it to your Google Drive first and then pull it up, whenever you get to school. You don't have to put it on a zip drive, put it in the panel and pull it up then. Everything syncs together. So that's a really, really nice feature and a huge teacher time saver. Here's one place right here when you create the activity. You notice it says practice or assessment. You can choose either one of those as you're creating. And also with this menu, the three little bars to the left-hand side, you can change the activity type. You can save it to the community, so for other teachers. You can send the lesson activity to your students. This will take you back to your specific activities, the Snowflake community, or you can create a new one. And then you can go to help, and there's a great help section with all kinds of videos and tidbits to just kind of reinforce what we went over tonight. We can add to this very easily, and you can continue to add information. What's really nice too is all of the lesson activities are editable. So if you see one on the community and you want to add a couple problems or a couple questions, you can easily go in just like I did and add more content to it. And then you can go in and add more tags and change things around as well.
Kelly, I have a couple of questions that have come in.
Yes.
Angela asked, can I link a video from a website other than YouTube, for example, BrainPop?
You can link a video and have it in your lesson activities here. So for instance, I'm going to show you. So up here in the the information, okay, whenever the students can click on that, and there's all kinds of links here. So even if you want your students to do some research about a topic, you can include.
Kelly?
Yes.
Is it possible to link videos that are not online?
Link to that BrainPop video that you want to play for your students. You could have that link in here as well. And when I go here, I'm actually gonna go to edit, and I'm gonna show you where you could add that link in. It's under lesson activity info. And right here where it says web links, that's where all those are put in. So this is the title to the web link, and then this is the actual link that's copied from the website and pasted. So what's nice about this too is if you have places that you want your students to go and do research, all of that is included within that little, within that I tab. Everything is right there for them, for the activity. Does that help answer it, Allison?
Angela, but...
did I say Allison? Sorry, she was earlier, Angela.
I have another, yes, she said yes, thank you.
I will show you here real quick how to search, because I don't think I covered that. If we go to Explore, that's going to take us to the main community lesson page. And you can choose from, this is updated regularly. So we have, Martin Luther King Jr. Here, Nigeria, lessons in Swedish, different math lessons. And over here to the right, there's arrows where you can get more lessons. But you can also search, so you can type in any kind of topic here, and anything that has either that word in the title or keywords, those will come up. You can search here by age, and you can also search by lesson activity types. So if I just wanted my students to participate or do a tags activity, I could just search for tags, and you will get hundreds and hundreds of activities that are on the community that are strictly tags. So here's a cute one on ordinal numbers and ladybugs with little spots, and the students have to match the number to, it's in Spanish, of how many dots are on each ladybug. So here's one on periodic, labeling the periodic table. And the lessons on Snowflake pretty much, they range from preschool all the way up through secondary education. So there's so much that you can do with them. You can also search by a specific subject. You can search by country, and you can search by different teachers as well. Sometimes I forget if I have tags selected here. Sometimes I forget to return to all lesson activity types. So if you think like, why am I getting all of one thing? You just go back up here to all lesson activity types, and then when you search for a specific topic, it will come up. So if I search for the moon, anything that's related to the moon will come up. This is a fun one that I created, and it's phases of the moon. And here we have our image, the background. I found one that was, related to space, and then here's our phases that have to be dragged over. So you can see just another different subject area or topic that you can create these activities in. And over here too, you can also search by a specific standard as well. So if there's a certain standard in the curriculum that you need, you can type that in, and all of the lessons related to that standard will come up as well. Any other questions?
We don't have any other questions as of right now, but I would also like to just say, if you have any questions in general, feel free to ask those, and we will try to answer whatever we can for you.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys attending this evening and letting us share the tags lesson activity type with you.
I was asked, are the students able to do two separate lesson activity types at the same time?
So the only way they could do two separate activity types at the same time is if they are at the panel. At the panel, you can split the screen into different zones, and you can have different activities running, and so that could be done that way. Through Snow.Live, you could have different Chromebooks set up, and they can move back and forth between the Chromebooks, but they would do one at a time. Now, what you can do is you can set up a list, basically, of lessons, like a playlist, kind of like a playlist in YouTube, and that works really well. So you could just have links to the other lessons that you wanted them to complete in the little information tab. So just like I showed you how to add that Brain Pop link, you could add links to other lessons in that area, and then the students could click on those and come, do more than one at a time. If that makes sense.
The question was about the panel, so I might have left that out, so sorry. But yeah, that was a perfect explanation, using the zones on the panel. And then someone else said, just to let you know, that you did an awesome job tonight, Kelly. So I'll pass it on to you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Any other questions from anyone before we conclude the meeting for this evening? Anything at all? It doesn't have to be about the lesson activity from tonight, just anything that you might have a question about. So I don't see us getting any more. So Kelly, I would like to say thank you. I appreciate you coming on in the evening and doing another webinar for us. And I especially would like to thank all the people that are signing in and participating in these webinars. This was an idea that we had not very long ago and got it off the ground and running. And it's very exciting to see that each week there's a growing number of people. Tonight is our largest audience by far. And so just for me, it's a very exciting thing. I love the software that we have, and I'm excited that we can have people that are experts at it to share how to use the software to make learning more fun in your classroom. So if there are no more questions, again, thanks to Kelly and thanks to everyone else. And I hope you have an awesome rest of this school year and an awesome new year. So thank you very much, and everyone have a great evening.
Thank you, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good night.